Any new rules or new freedoms or restrictions either way?
Always
Anything?
continually review the rules and the privileges of the big thing we've changed. Introduction of television is the number one thing we've changed since I've been here.
And when did that start again?
It started about a little over a year ago, and you'll see them in the pods here. They have satellite television. They started off with 4 stations, now up to 18 television stations and 11 radio stations.
Do they get sports?
They do get sports.
Do they get the World Cup?
We had a little problem with World Cup. They actually, right now, every day we're taping that DVD, providing it the next morning they get that. So they'll probably be watching World Cup as we go through that.
So what was the problem? That they were fighting or that they were?
We're in a bad satellite area. We're in
Oh.
Cuba, and it's just not obviously it's not a commercial satellite area.
What
so
happened in the U.S. versus Algeria game?
We didn't have live signal. We didn't have any issues with that I know of. I saw no issues whatsoever. We do have some Algerians here. We do admit to that, but
So who were they rooting for?
I didn't see them myself. I didn't see them myself.
And you also mentioned that Skype has come online. Tell us about that.
That's correct. Skype is it's a video, obviously a video call, video personal call. We have, they're allowed, is it 2 hours or 1 hour call? I can't remember now. It's a 1 hour call once per quarter. They have a choice of a telephone call or a Skype call.
And that's new.
That's new. It started about, I think it's about August, September of last year. It's not even a year right now.
I'm
What was
sorry.
the thinking behind that? Sorry, what was the thinking behind the Skype and allowing that?
It allows them to see their family members. I mean, it's, they can have their whole family. They can have a dozen family members in that screen right there. We don't restrict that at all. So they can talk to many of their family members at the same time.
Is this another way to try and improve their conditions and, I mean, for lack of a better word, sort of keep a lid on things?
No,
Or
man. We
ease
we
the-
work in conjunction with the International Committee of the Red Cross, and it was something that we talked with them. They have to be on the other end. Without their help, we can't do that. Of course, we don't have the ability ourselves to have a terminal at the other end. So they really helped us out on that. So in
So, but why
conjunction
do
with
it?
that,
But why do it?
why did they do it, man?
Why do it? Why do you bother offering that service? Because it's probably a hassle.
It's not really a problem at all. It's just a movement from their location there. It's not really a problem at all.
Do you have interpreters kind of listening in?
Yes, sir. They know that. Of course, we tell them that they're being monitored, and that's so they won't give away force protection information. Obviously, we don't want to say I'm here in this camp and there's this many people here and this is where the guards are. And they have defined rules. They break those rules. There's a consequence.
What is the
They
big
get-
change after Obama?
Excuse me, sir.
What is the big change, after Obama?
President
time?
Obama.
The big change, it got a little more quiet here. I think the mood in camp quieted down quite a bit. That's again, I think you heard the doctor talk about the amount of hunger strikers, and they do hunger striking as a means of protest, and sometimes they have a cause that they kind of latch on to. And this time it's very quiet in the camps. You'll see that as we walk through.
Do you think the change in presidency did sort of affect their mood? I mean, was there a direct correlation?
They do talk about it. Of course, they know who the president is. They have access to television. So we ready to go?
Yeah, but 2 more moves, sir.
Okay.
Um,
Sorry about that. I'll fill in.
What's the, you know, the president said that he would close the
Yes,
prison
ma'am.
here in January of
Correct.
this year, but there isn't a date certain anymore. How does that affect them?
Honestly, I think a lot of them are realizing they're going to get released. I mean, obviously, we every single time we release a detainee, we take the Department of Justice notification and post it in Arabic on each block, so they know some of their brothers are leaving. So they see hope because of that. So that's a positive thing. Now, obviously, there was as many as 679 detainees at one time back in May of 2003. 779 have been here, starting from the beginning. There's only 181 left, so obviously a lot of them left. And there's, of course, going to be more leaving, so they have a sense of hope in that regards.
What, I did miss the beginning. Can we use a name?
You can use my name, sure.
Yep, and what's your name?
Lieutenant Colonel Andrew McManus.
And I'm sorry, we interrupted you answering my own. I
And
interrupted you.
my title is the Deputy Commander Joint Detention Group.
Oh, Deputy Commander.
Joint Detention Group.
And
And
can
that
you-
is, we're responsible for operations of
Okay.
the camps.
Can you continue your answer about, you saying TV was the biggest change? What
Biggest
other things,
change.
what other things besides television have you seen change?
They mentioned some questions about the food. We've changed their food over time. We've adapted the food to the detainee requests. For instance, they mentioned that they want pita bread for every meal as opposed to a variety of bread. So we introduced that fairly recently. They added tuna fish to some items, just plain tuna fish, because that was a request they had. So we're constantly looking at things. Sometimes they're very minor. We've changed our classes. Probably the biggest recent change is we took our core classes, which is Arabic to English, posture to English, and art, and added a life skills, which is a seminar, a 31-week program that is based to give them skills they'll need when they leave here. So it starts off with basic building blocks of personal finance, health and well-being, and then it goes to the next blocks, which talk about, business, finance, vocational seminars. And the goal, of course, is to give them a skill or some kind of idea what they could do when they leave here. It's not based on a vast majority of detainees speak English. Probably 70% speak some kind of English
They
here.
picked it up since they've been here?
Yes, ma'am, we've had classes for years too. Of course, it's fairly easy to learn when you're in an environment where all the staff speaks English and they have classes provided to them. So it's-
Is there a contradiction? So, you know what I mean? Is there a sort of an inherent contradiction there?
we have detainees here housed by their level of compliance with rules. So if they comply with rules, then they have the ability to go to classes. So it's not our determination who gets to go to class or not. If they comply with the rules, that's fine. What they did prior to that is not our concern.
Before you were talking a bit about the changes amongst the detainee population since President Obama came in, what about for you guys operating the facility? Has anything changed for you?
No, ma'am, no change at all.
And the mood amongst you?
The mood, I think, the detainee mood is a little bit better, and I think, of course, the guard mood is better. We have to have daily interactions with detainees, so if detainees are compliant, and obviously by the level of compliancy from 40% to 90% in the last year, you can tell that there's an obvious value of being in a communal environment. They have an incentive to be here. There's extra privileges. It's nicer. It's 20 hours outside versus 4 hours outside. It's a big difference.
Do they get live news on the TV channel still?
They have live news.
And is it still Al Jazeera?
Al Jazeera English, yes, ma'am.
Is that
Why
the-
only in English?
All of our stations are actually reviewed by a cultural advisor and reviewed by our commander to determine if they're appropriate for detainees. So we try to give them a variety of things. We have a Tunisian station, a Libyan station, Omani, Kuwaiti. It's a variety of topics. The primary things they like are news, sports, and nature. Nature shows are very popular. So we try to pick those stations for that.
Is the
But
big?
I'm sorry, I'm confused about one thing. You said if it's live, so if
Live.
Osama bin Laden goes on Al Jazeera and they translate it into English,
It's on the TV.
calling for a jihad, and everybody takes to the streets and do this, and this.
Yes, ma'am.
we can
Again,
watch that?
yes, it's decided by the leadership, who runs detention group leadership. It is decided. Those of course are the commander can decide to put those on or not. And of course, we always
do? They
monitor.
watch it?
We always monitor
Yeah.
detainees 24 hours a day.
All right, thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't see that.